Nothing has changed about this. This is it, the scene of the party. The fire pit, cigarettes, and empty bottles all evidence it. Not as such. I'm talking about what came after the party scene. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, doesn't want to.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? That's great. Until then, you should maybe start thinking about the funeral.
Sire, she doth not believe it wasn't you.
Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Quite odd. Our things are part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least.
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gotvaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easy.
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere.
Absolutely. Things like what, for example? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it's sure as hell. Guns are expensive and fragile, I think. Besides, I got kids. Can't have guns. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the... No, I'm afraid not.
She refuses, but your word is the law. You are law.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. Yes, I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone.
It absolutely does not.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead.
The lieutenant shakes his head.
Yeah. By himself. Inadvertently. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk, life didn't really change.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action. Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can... Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. Ah, I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now,
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too. As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them is the edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. The last resort. A bad idea. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling. This isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself. The bed is comforting. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression sticks to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression sticks to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope damn that girl.
Bullet? You didn't put it there, did you?
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant.
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs. around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No,
The truth, sire.
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The failed electric neuron. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Yes, let's hear those other questions. One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
An old door, worn by elements. Nothing has changed about this track. Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, a glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
There, 1.2, a glowing light on the
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The padlock passes through a staple. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen it.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning? No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just...
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone. You see, a once bright mural above the mural, Feld Electrical. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. There's something in the wind.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building? The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. The reeds by the abandoned campsite sway and tremble, while the snow falls all around. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different. No locus. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap. Good, good. We should be courteous and tell the cryptozoologists that one of the traps was empty. But then we can get back to ours and...
A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and you look to the dark shadow, the Feld building in the distance, drawing you to it. What a strange sensation. Once this is done, should you try to ask again? The reeds by the later it gets, the later it gets. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first,
That, over there. Must be the boy class you told us about. The one...
ooh, hidden things, secrets. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not... The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, in dust. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing.
Well, Damn. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. Could be. We should keep an eye out.
You could ask the miss what she thinks later if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
The dome-shaped plastic boy You've checked all the... A row of ghostly shades facing the crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing a cold sea behind this. As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave. He appears completely at ease, like a
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no? What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast? My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
God, of course it does.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part.
Yes, this is just the sort of...
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? He's speaking figuratively. He means he's not in Martinez in his official capacity.
Why, officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. I'm only in Martinez. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in. Well, under ordinary circumstances, the committee contacts...
In other words, the committee only knows what it wants.
But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer. sir. You mean to say that you haven't noticed the giant coalition aerostatic peacefully patrol?
You follow the man's gaze out toward the west. There, hanging some distance above the horizon, you can just make out a strange silhouette. It looks, to your eye, like some kind of long metallic fish, suspended beneath a number of... Not just any fish. It moves like some ancient bottom feeder gliding over the ocean floor in search of prey.
That is part of the idea, of course. The Coalition doesn't want the people of Rivachol to feel that they are under a military occupation. That is why the archer is always careful to maintain a discreet distance. You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Rivachol. This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it. So it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on Coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-Coalition use. Yes, I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it. Unfortunately not. No, I don't have the pleasure. I am...
Ah, good. Techno-tinkerers. Just what this side task was me.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. But
There's no way the perk isn't here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed.
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable, but I like the spirit. Have some points and dangerous. Dangerous too. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and you see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup. It's no older than a day. A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Huh? So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well...
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law. Your eyes are fixed on her. She looks down. Make her meet your eyes. The kid isn't arrogant. She's just afraid to look you in the eye. You already put her in her place.
You're right. I shouldn't have sworn. I'm sorry. Okay. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. A cell. Why? Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels...
Take this, you're cold.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Thanks. That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the...
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room. Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder. But that stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. But go ahead. This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, actually just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. A contact mic records sounds from inside things. Like this art.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No idea.
Same place I got the recorder from. The Palaceum. Oh man. You haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person. Yes? Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up. The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. Okay.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. Nothing to emote over. You put the device back on the ice.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
you know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black tint.
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops. Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? No. Not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
It's Noids. Yeah, I guess you could say that. To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya. Go ahead. Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do. Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river. Rich people. Rich people are east of the river. Yeah. The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager. You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Is this a rhetorical question? My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
She nods very cautiously.
Okay, bye.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like...
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Walshy tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent! Hardcore! Alright! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible.
Hardcore! Ah!
The question is, what is the question? But there was a question?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? The young man.
This is hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger! I am.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do?
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed. I suck at socialising, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your side.
This young speed freak seems to know a lot about signs. Could the young man picks up a thin metal You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future imbecilic. Yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent!
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate.
Place is a shithole!
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Ah, so you've met her. Good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't...
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads!
Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah.
Strike that!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Not long, like a week maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 9.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Noid watches you pick up the key with a smirk.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Yes, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. Sure, why not?
But not really. Brown hair. Old. Heavy, dark sides.
What Noid said.
So brown and older, Ruby might have dyed her hair, though it seems like a stretch at this point.
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I'm...
Not human, as in a ghost.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and...
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd, crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it.
You should ask her about it.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely. Sure. What? He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer.
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC for short.
just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Yeah, sometimes, when I stumble and find my way into his centre, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself.
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no? Totally.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity! Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
Oh yeah, it can.
It's coming around. You're getting it.
Feels good.
Yeah!
He
seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more...
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body.
Yes. What? Yeah, good to have. Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of. He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always... Hi again. So, how are things going? As always... Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. How about gather around, kids?
things.
He senses something is wrong.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
What do you mean by lenient?
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Reversholt.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now... No, man, they're spooky all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking
But the sign was way off too! I couldn't feel the love at...
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
This is it. Judgment time.
Come on, man. Really?
The young man doesn't move. His earrings wrap.
No fucking...
Yes, fucking way.
Without a word, the other speed freak pulls a red wallet out of the toolbox. The disdain is palpable. His eyes pierce you like lightning as he lets go of the wallet.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the speed lab. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God,
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
As always.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid? That's fine, man. But I've got to warn ya, my signs are still off. It'll take some time for me to get my sight. I'm doing what I can.
It's not easy for him. It probably took him years to get used to Andre.
A sticker? You mean the yellow one?
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
So I can hear you do it. Sometimes the outside gaze helps us
Noid, don't bother our guests with your games.
Piss off, Andre. Me and Mr. Cott are trying to...
You shouldn't talk like that.
Right, noted. Sorry. Anyway, what was it like?
An off-handed sorry, if there ever was one.
Seems like my creation has found its way to the legal bureau. The dead guy's smiling. He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. Present moment, life, are the hardcore. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats. Simplicity was brought to us by classical soul artist modernism, but that was a tasteful, harmonious... Well, hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning shot. This will be dangerous. The echo of man's love. The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing. Not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. There's a gap. I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for? Nah. You heard me. Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
Most of it doesn't exist. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Don't think so. Big bad frequencies are extremely negative. Thought suppression, dream implantation, memory revision.
There is fear there, but also curiosity.
Besides, our own signs aren't even synced yet. So how am I supposed to get you synced up with a big bad? It don't make any sense, law lover.